So today, my AI agency made $5,200 selling AI to local businesses. And in the past 4 weeks, it's made about $24,000. And this is not from coaching people or mentoring people on how to sell AI. This is from actually selling AI to real businesses. So in this video, I want to show you exactly how you can do the same, how you can build a $20K per month AI agency system that you can sell for $3,000, $5,000, or even $10,000 to the right businesses. So I'm going to share with you exactly how to pick a niche properly. The old way of picking a niche where you're looking at a worksheet or looking at a spreadsheet and trying to figure out which niche you like and can pick is totally outdated. I'm going to show you a way better way to do this. Really the only way to do it if you want to succeed fast. Then I'm going to share with you how to position and sell these AI systems properly so you can actually make a high ticket sale, and how you can sell something that you're confident in, right? How to build a high quality product that actually gets your clients awesome results, but is also easy and simple to manage, that allows you to have a high profit cash flow business. Now, this is exactly what I've been doing for the past 8 years. I dropped out of school and basically learned how to solve these problems that I'm going to be sharing with you for businesses. And now the opportunity has never been greater to do this leveraging AI, leveraging software, so that you don't have to trade your time for money. So let me get straight into it. So these are the core problems that we are going to solve for high ticket businesses. And don't worry, I'm going to go through everything step by step. This is just a high level overview of what we're going to be doing for these businesses and how we get paid. So businesses have multiple problems, okay? Businesses don't have enough leads, so they don't have enough people that are interested in their services, interested in learning more about their services, or they don't have people that are booking appointments. So if we target the right business, which is a high ticket service-based business, and I'll go through all of that, they make money from getting more qualified people on the phone or meeting with them in person, more qualified appointments, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to install a system, and we're going to run the system for them that's going to produce them leads so that they no longer have a problem of getting people interested in their business, people to talk to, and then people that are serious, people that actually want to book a call with this business and sign up for their services, or just get a few different questions answered before they sign up. When we solve these problems successfully, right? And what's cool about this now is, this is primarily leveraging software, automation, and AI. It's not like you are physically going and solving these problems one by one. When we do this, this actually brings real value to a business, and every business wants more new leads. Every business wants more new appointments and people that are going to pay them money for their services, right? So this will always be in demand. It's going to take different shapes, and over time, platforms will change. Like, I've been literally doing this for 8 years. I've heard that Facebook's going to die. TikTok wasn't even around then. So there's all these new ways to do it, but this is the core of the problem that we're solving: bringing businesses new leads, people interested in learning more about their services, and people that are ready to actually get on a call to sign up. All right. So those are the two core areas that we're going to be fixing for these businesses leveraging AI. Now, in order to do this successfully, we have to pick a niche, right? We have to have a specific type of business that we're targeting, all right? Now, the old way of picking a niche is you would buy a program or watch YouTube videos or whatever, and you look at a worksheet, right? And you see, real estate agents and, plumbers and roofers and electricians, and you see all these people telling you, these are niches that work, right? And you look at that worksheet, you pick the one that you think is the best, and then you go out and try to sell them something, right? That's the old way. You guys have to realize that, there is more information that is publicly available now more than ever. So you can find information about niches that before, when I started 8 years ago, this stuff wasn't out there, or you had to really, really dig for it. Now people just post stuff publicly, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so that's the old way. We're not going to do that. We're going to use this new way of picking a niche. So what we're going to do, step one, is we want to find high ticket businesses that are buying these services, right? We're going to position ours as a system, which I'll explain later, but we want to find high ticket businesses that are buying these services right now. Okay. So forget looking at a list or doing a worksheet and, trying to figure out what's going to work. Just see the businesses that are already voting with their dollars, that are already spending money to solve these problems, right? That's what we want to do. We want to find what's already working, model the patterns that we see that are already working, and then provide our solution and get in on the game. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to make your offer unique, make it all, stand out so that you're not like competing. Because I've never felt like I was competing with any business because I have my own personal brand, I have my own style. So even if I solve quote unquote the same problem as another business, we're just going to attract two different customers. And that's one of the things people don't understand about business, is they think that if they pick a business that's already paying for services, that it's saturated or that it's too crowded. But it actually just shows that there's a system for creating a solution. And if you provide your own solution or your own unique way of doing it or your own brand or whatever it is, that alone is enough variation in the market so that it's not direct competition, okay? So if you really want to do this well and stay in business for a while too, you want to develop your brand and trust with these businesses, and you want them to see you as a resource of valuable information. So instead of going through a worksheet and seeing what works, we're going to find these businesses that are literally paying for these services right now, okay? Then out of those businesses, you're going to pick a winner. So for me, right, a high ticket business is a business that can make $10,000 or more from just one customer, right? Because if I provide a system to them and we bring them one customer and I charge 3K, 5K, whatever, these are examples for you guys, then, you basically already have made them their money back from one customer, all right? And you pick a winner, so like a real estate agent falls into that criteria, right? So this is what I was doing back when I started and I didn't even know. Now I'm just laying it all out for you. But I started working with real estate agents. And so if they sell one home, they make, $10,000, $15,000. And I can give you an actual real example. So this is a photo from, almost 5 years ago now. And this is somebody who at the time paid me $4,000 for my program. And guess what? He closed 3 deals with about $600 in advertising spend. And guess what? Those 3 deals made him over $55,000. Okay? So that's the power of a high ticket niche. Now I don't work with real estate agents. I work with real estate investors, but it's still the same principle that if you find a high ticket business that is already spending money on these services, and you just pick one of them, maybe you have an affinity towards real estate or roofers or whatever the niche is, then you're going to be in a successful vehicle, and all you have to do is tweak your offer versus spending time wondering if your niche is right, all right? Then we're going to sell them what their niche is already buying and has proven to work. So if real estate agents buy these services a lot and, they're willing to spend that money on it, and if they make sales from it, then we just enter into the marketplace selling what's already proven and that they already know works, or maybe they just need a little bit more convincing versus trying to figure out what your niche is, what your offer is with people that you don't even know are willing to buy, okay? So that is the new way of picking a niche. Now, the way that you do this successfully is this process. So because the solution that I offer to the niche that I serve is revolved around these two, core problems, getting them leads and getting them appointments, we run Facebook ads. And so I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do these steps right here, finding high ticket businesses that are buying the services and then basically plugging into a proven niche. And so what you want to do, and you can do this on the Google Ads Transparency Center. You can do it a little bit with TikTok, so it's not unique to Facebook, but the core principle remains the same. You could technically apply this to literally anything that you do in life, right? Find people that are having success and model them. And so instead of starting from scratch, who do I sell to? We go to, the Facebook ad library, and I'm specifically in Dallas, Texas. So there's not going to be as many ads as if I, check the entire United States. But what I can do is I can type in a keyword. So if I know that a lot of real estate agents help people buy homes, right, I could type in the word buy, right? And it's going to show me all of the ads that are running in Dallas, Texas with this keyword buy, right? And the second thing we want to do is we want to filter this back and go back a few months. And the reason for that is because people don't run ads for even a week or longer if they're not bringing them leads or not bringing them, something, right? And so when we go back a few months, we can now see the ads that have actually made the cut, the ads that are actually working, right? And you can see there's a lot of ads on We Buy Houses, right? And this is actually the same niche that I target, right? So you can see that there's some ads, We Buy Houses, see what will pay for your home. So there is, some proven success right there. And this is just in Dallas. So if you did the entire United States, you may even see more. And then here we have kind of the one that we're looking for, right? Are you or anyone in your network looking to buy or sell a home? So here's somebody advertising, for this type of offer, which would help, basically be somebody buying or selling a home, right? And if you find a few kind of key words here, like free list of homes, this is essentially the offer. And if you copy this in here and you paste it into the search bar, and we search the entire United States, we can type this in right here and see if other people are running this type of ad. So there's 140 ads that are running this with this particular keyword. Now, sometimes the search is not going to be perfect. Like, it's not going to pull all of the ads. You have to kind of tweak it and maybe tweak some of the words. But basically, why would there be 140 ads that are running in the US that say free list of homes for sale? Literally the exact words, right? We could take out some of these words and there's probably going to be even more. And why is it that these two different ads, and this was not pre-planned, I've just done this I don't know how many times, and this is how I built my entire business. Why is it that these two different pages are running ads 3 days from each other with literally the exact same ad, in the same format? Why are they doing that? And then how come these are in totally different locations? Keystone Island, Southern California, and then this one kind of looks similar too. Why are people doing this? And why are people doing this in Honolulu and Great Neck, which I don't even know where this is, or I won't even try to say that. But why are people doing this? Well, it's because it's proven. And I'm showing you right in front of your eyes that people pay for these types of systems. Now, this is just the tip of the sphere with how we solve these problems, right? So this is solving the problem of getting leads generated, right? Because multiple people are running the same type of ad. Why are they doing that? Well, there must be something there. And to me, it's still as exciting as when I figured this out 6 years ago, when this first came out, or I don't actually know when the ad library came out, but this didn't used to exist. If you wanted to find ads, you had to see it on your actual feed. So to me, this is still as exciting as when I first saw it, because look, that means there is a science to generating these leads. And that, when you understand that it's a science, that means that anyone can do it, right? Or anyone has the opportunity to duplicate it, right? If it wasn't a science, then only one person could do it, or only one person could figure it out. But if multiple pages are literally running the same style of ads with the exact same offer, looking to buy your next dream home, looking to buy your next dream home, are you or anyone looking to buy or sell a home, they're changing it slightly, then that means, guess what, that you can do this too, right? Now you know these niches pay for this, and this is only based on just this one keyword. And then two, you know that these niches, can make a high ticket sale. So you can see here where they're advertising these properties are, selling for $289,000. So a typical real estate agent will make about 3% of one of these sales. So let's say they get a lead that is worth $400,000, they're going to make $12,000, and they're running the same ad as everyone else. This one, the price point's even higher. Okay, so this is the power of being able to reverse engineer a proven niche. All right, and you can do this yourself. This is a free tool. You have to have a Facebook, but you can do this with multiple niches. Okay, so that is how we actually pick a niche, guys, because we're going to be selling these systems where we generate them leads, get them appointments, and so we want to find people that are already spending money on it. That's how you do it. You can do it with other niches. You can just type in different keywords and see what you find. Okay, so that's step one, picking that niche, and it needs to be a high ticket niche. Now, this is the old way of selling. Okay, so just like this is the old way of picking a niche, this is the old way of selling, and the way that pretty much just sucks. And for a brief period of time was what I was doing, and then I pivoted, and I'll tell you about that. But basically, the old way of selling is one-to-one sales and education. So you're on the phone with the potential person who's interested in buying it, and most of the time, these people are, if I, kind of draw this out so you can see, these people, I got to delete this. So let's say that somebody needs to go all the way from here. So interested, and then let's just say that somebody buys over here, right? I'm just kind of giving you a simple example. So usually where, I don't know if this will give me an arrow or how that'll look. Usually people will, when they do it the old way, I'll just use this, they start having conversations right here. All right. And so what that means is that you get someone in your interest pipeline, and then you start talking to them here, and then you have to basically walk them all the way from over here to over here, right? And this, gap right here takes a long time, and it's draining, and it's not fun. And most importantly, it is not essential in today's world. You do not have to do this. And I know this for a fact, because you can see this is just so far today's sales. And this is a sale. Anything that, is here on 297 from, this agency is not a phone call. I do not do phone calls. And most of the phone calls I do, which you'll see, are pretty, they're very, very simple. And there's a reason for that. But it just goes to show that people will buy things, right, without actually doing a phone call and doing some long sales process, right? And if you think about it, zoom out, what am I doing right now? I'm educating you on what you can do versus, you and I on a phone call, and I'm telling you all this, and then the call ends, and then I'm doing it again and again and again, right? And so this is possible, all right? So this is the old way, is you got to take people from here and take them all the way over there. And then a lot of the time people tell you to have some script, and you're reading it and it sounds weird, and you're asking questions you wouldn't normally ask. Now, there is a time and place for the right questions and having a frame of a script, but I'm going to show you how to eliminate most of this, because I hated all of this, guys. Like, I'm not saying this like there's this new way because there's this new way. This is the way I made because of what I like. And I don't like getting on calls and selling this whole thing. I like doing what I'm doing right now, okay? I'm going to show you that you can actually do this with agency services, all right? So they usually have high pressure, awkward sales scripts. You're reading through stuff. You're trying to sell them, trying to one call close them. And, I never really liked it. If you like it, well, that's up to you, okay? The other way of selling was you're following up manually. You're basically seeing if people are still interested and, reaching out to them one by one. And the other big thing that I've seen these types of agencies make is they try to sell these non-ideal customers with no confidence of results. So people kind of just say, oh, well, just start selling, just start getting appointments and making offers. But what I found is that if you just do a little research, I'm not saying, spend all day, spend weeks and months, not talking to customers or potential customers and just, build the best product. But if you do spend a little bit of time, just like the time I showed you here, we can have a way more predictable system that we sell to these businesses by modeling what's proven instead of just going out and selling blindly. And so I found that the higher up you go with real business people, they don't want some crazy sales pitch, right? That's why I do my videos. We don't edit these videos. They're just pretty much raw. It's like a podcast almost. And so because of that, I attract people that actually want to buy what I'm doing because I'm showing them what's accurate, right? And when you sell these types of services, at the end of the day, it could be amazing at sales and amazing at closing people, but if you can't solve the problem, you're also going to have a bad business too. So you need to do both. And if you're good at actually identifying how to be accurate with like, hey, if you sign up, here's what you can realistically expect, and then you can deliver on it, you're going to have an awesome business, okay? So that's the old way. We don't want to do any of that. This is the new way. We want to show and not tell, right? I don't want to tell you, hey, you can go and, basically figure out proven niches. I'm showing you. Why are there all these proven ads right here? Literally, running the same ads with the same, everything is literally the same. Why is that happening? Well, it must be working, right? So we want to show and not tell. Same thing with our actual, if you think about it, if I was showing this to a real estate agent and I was selling it to them, even if I had no prior proof, I could show them the same thing I'm showing you. And that way I stay in integrity. I'm not lying and saying, oh, we've got all these results. I can basically say, hey, I looked through this ads library, and for whatever reason, I found all these real estate agents that are running the same ad. And there's even more things you can do. Like if you go on YouTube, you can find people that are running these ads, and they show you how much they cost, and then they show you how much they convert. So this is how you actually use real data without lying and saying that you have results when you don't. And you can just say, hey, like I researched, I found the same ad, I found people posting about the same ad, I found them posting how much it costs, I found them talking about how much they're converting. Can I build this for you, right? That's a way better way of selling it than faking results and acting like you're all put together if you don't have them. I have results. I've been doing it for a really long time. And so I do have results, right? But if I was starting from zero, that's what I would do is say, hey, like, I'm researching, I'm learning about building AI systems and, reaching out to you. I noticed all these different people that are running the same ad, and they're running the same this, the same that, and I can build this. Like, would you be interested in testing this out with me, right? And then from there, you get enough results, and then off you go, right? So we want to show people initially that what we're thinking if we don't have any proof. Second thing, education, not selling, is kind of the same thing. So I never found that, me actually selling them on doing something is converted versus if I just educate and make you aware of like, hey, people are running ads, people are using this, people are getting success doing it. And you see me as the bridge of the gap between, hey, maybe this guy can help me do it. Then I'd prefer to go that route every time. And what's cool about this is you can make videos virtually free and, educate your niche. And this will get you amazing results. And you can actually see I was doing this, and I have ones from before this, but I have, this is from 5 years ago, soon to be 6, where I did a challenge to these real estate agents. And I did a Facebook Live, and, this got 12,000 views. And I show them like kind of what I'm showing you right now. Like, why do you need to run ads and all these different things, right? And I'm training them, and I show them, how to run the ad and everything like that, right? And I'm educating them and giving it for free. And what happens is most people say, oh, well, I don't want to do this myself. Can you guys do it for me, right? So you'd be surprised when you actually give it all away. People just are like, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do it on my own, all right? So that's the education route. And, in 5 years, people will even probably be laughing that people didn't used to do this. And there's no different for an agency. When I got into this, the agencies were not doing this, and even now they don't really do it. And so I've noticed a trend. People are now kind of starting to do it, and they're realizing like, wait, this is way easier, it's better, and I get a better client. So, if you're not doing this, I think you're just going to get left behind if you want to do it in a more enjoyable way. Now, the other thing is that 95% of your selling or convincing of the customer should be done online at scale. You should really just be filling in the last 5% of the gap on the call, if you do a call, right? Where you just, for your specific market or for your specific situation, here's what I would do different, right? But everything I'm sharing right now is moving you closer and closer towards understanding what I want you to understand, so you see the opportunity, right? And so the other thing that people don't understand with YouTube here is that, there's something called watch time on your videos. And so this shows you how long people have watched a video or all your videos combined. And so guess what? Every single day, I work more hours in a day with YouTube watch time. So if there's 24 hours in a day, imagine you're the perfect salesperson of your product, which is most likely you, working more hours than there were in a day. And every minute that they're spending is uninterrupted, and they're just perfectly delivering what you want them to deliver. That's the power of YouTube, guys. So you guys should definitely get on this. I've seen a few people in my community starting to do it, and you got to just go for it, all right? Now, the other thing here is, this is how I prefer to do it, is you want logical explanations for every objection. So most people try to handle objections with psychology, and sometimes you need to, like, oh, I need to think about it or whatever. I mean, I just say, all right, I'm not going to follow up with you because I do what I'm saying, where like the people that are booking are people that are watching videos. They know the pricing. You can do all this stuff, guys. But anyway, an example of this would be like, well, how do I know I'm going to get a legitimate lead, right? So what you would want is a logical explanation, not just some salesperson, oh, well, we deliver the best leads. You would say, well, can you tell me, what you define as a legitimate lead? And then they tell you, and you repeat it back and say, so a legitimate lead to you is A, B, C, D, right? Okay, so what we'll do is when we collect the lead's information, we'll collect all of that information. If their submission does not align with what you would view as a legitimate lead, you will not receive it. And you could also do that with an AI bot. So that's a logical explanation. That's an actual solution. I'm not saying, well, we deliver the best leads because we have this way and we do it that way. We can just say, what do you define as a legitimate lead? Okay, cool. We can customize the system, to that, and make sure that that's the only type of lead you get is the one that you're defining as a legitimate. So does that work? And they're like, oh, okay. And if they don't, right? If someone squeezes through and, we make a mistake, please let us know and we'll fix it, right? So that's a logical explanation, and you don't have to really sell. You just explain how what you do actually works, okay? And then the last way, which I kind of touched on before, is using live data to fill in gaps and being transparent. So if you've never ran ads before and you want to sell the system, don't say that you've ran ads before and that you have all these results and you're just faking it, right? Fill in the gaps. Go to YouTube. Once you have your niche, look up people running ads, look up, what their cost is. There's enough information there, and there's only going to become more where you can see what they pay per lead. And you may even be able to find a specific area where, if let's say you wanted to target a client in, Spokane, you could potentially do some searches and see if you could find people showing their ads in that area and saying, hey, like, here's how much it costs, right? And, that's the power of live data with public information, is that even if you're starting right now brand new, the amount of information you can compile to be a very, very accurate solution is so insanely different than when I started. I used to just think that, if we got a client 100 leads, they're going to get like 20 deals a month. I had no idea what I was doing. Now I know very realistically, okay, it's going to take 50 leads to 70 leads to get a client a deal. Some clients, they get it in 25 leads, right? But I have a range that I know and costs that I know, and I create a calculation for the client so that I can deliver on this, this awesome offer, all right? So that's the new way of selling. We just want to sell real live data that actually works and then just reproduce the result, all right? This is the old model, all right? Managing lots of people, high expenses, having multiple niches, and really extremely reliant on humans. We don't want to do that model, or at least I didn't, okay? So this is the new model. We want to be managers of software and automation, so that's how you need to view yourself. And if you hire somebody eventually, that's what they should do as well. We don't want them doing a bunch of custom work. We don't want them, solving all these unique problems that we've never experienced before. At the end of the day, we want it to be an actual business. And so even though it may get a little bit boring, it's what works. And we want to keep what I call the surface area of our agency very small, because the bigger we go, if we start solving like these other problems businesses have, like maybe they don't have a good website, maybe they don't have enough reviews, maybe they don't have this, maybe they don't have that, then before you know it, you're like essentially running the person's entire business. So you just want to be kind of like a bolt-on system to just one aspect of their business, and it should work. Like the rest of their business should just operate normally, all right? And so it is cool to actually understand the whole of the business and understand how everything works. But we don't want to be getting into all these other areas of their business and trying to do too much, okay? And when we have software, we can actually make this very easy on ourselves to manage and get them results, all right? And I'll go through later those softwares and how I do it specifically. Then we also have low expenses. So all I really pay for is software, and that's kind of its own whole video going into the expenses of it, but your margins are way better when you have a high ticket offer like the one I'm sharing with you, and you have it fully reliant on software, AI, and templates. Here's a very specific example. So in a typical service like this or agency, you may pay like $150 for somebody to create what's called a UGC video. So this is just like a video that a creator will make on Fiverr. There's not one here, but to show you as an example. But if you go to Fiverr, type in UGC video, you'll see what I'm saying. Now, those cost $150, right? So if you buy 5 or 10 of those for a client, that's going to, basically be $1,000, right? If you buy 10. Now, what we do is we use captions.ai or something like that, and it generates AI UGC videos. And so guess what? I pay like $20 a month, and we downloaded like 25 videos just this month. So we pay like $1 per video. So that's an example, a very practical example of using software and AI to lower our expenses, because this costs way more. And I do that in all aspects of the business. So that's just one specific example. Now, the other component to a successful agency is we want just one niche, one core problem that we're solving, because if we're going to systemize it, we want to leverage it takes a lot of work to build a system. And so we don't want to have multiple niches. We have to communicate. If you then hire somebody to help you, oh, well, for this niche we do this, and for that niche we do that. And before you know it, it's like managing multiple businesses, really. So one niche and one core offer that you're selling to that specific niche. And as I mentioned before, kind of with the selling, we want to be 95% reliant on AI and YouTube to do the selling at one to many, and we want to do the same thing with the actual agency. So we want all these things to be templated. We want everything to be on software. We want everything to be pretty much as fast and as easy as possible. However, this still gets the best results. I mean, I wouldn't do this if it didn't get results. So this actually still works. And then the humans like fill in the gap. So, for example, if a client has a question about the ads, like we don't have just a bot doing that. We want to be there and answer that, right? So that's a gap that we're filling in. If they want to talk to us, we want to talk to them as well, right? But the setup, the systems, the follow-up, the things that are included, we don't want, a team of people in charge of doing that. I wouldn't be able to do this, all right? So that's what we want to do here. And then we sell systems, not services, okay? This is a huge key component to this actual model. Now, maybe you didn't know this, but I'm very into what's called etymology, which is like the origin of where words come from. And so services actually means slavery, condition of a slave, servitude. And you can see it right here. Slavery, condition of a slave, servitude, or slaves collectively. So, there's obviously positive use cases of the word service, but sometimes when you're in this services-based model, there's a few things that can happen. So one, you've already positioned what you do as something that requires, right, this custom work and management, right? And when you sell like, hey, we do this service, right, inherently in your communication, you're kind of communicating that, hey, if you need to make a change, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And while we still do that with our approach, which is a system, it's the way that we position a service that makes it less about the outcome, right? Because people kind of view it as, well, I'm basically paying for this person's time and effort to like be there and be available, right? But with a system, which if you look at what a system means, it means to place together, organize, or form an order. This is actually what the client wants, okay? Because if they are a real estate agent and they are looking for people who want to buy a home, they don't want a custom service where it's reliant on you and all these people to kind of, just basically serve, right? And the reason for that is because if you're constantly making adjustments, constantly having to fix things, constantly serving the client, then that means you have a product problem. Whereas if you have a system, our job with our high ticket niche is to basically go to these businesses and say, we have a system for getting you, buyer clients, right? And what our selling point is and how to position this is a number of clients that they're going to get from the system. And then our job is to basically just facilitate the success. The system does the work. The ads do the work based on proven ad templates, which you can see right here. The follow-up, which is essential to convert leads into appointments, is done fully by automation, right? And texting leads, emailing those leads. And when those leads respond, we have an AI booking bot, which I'll go more into, right? But our job is essentially, and the reason we can sell for more upfront is because we are selling a proven system that we're essentially installing, right? So an example of a system too is like if somebody installs solar, right, onto their roof, which is also a high ticket niche. But when you install solar, you don't want people on your roof every day trying to extract the energy from the sun. You want the system, right? And so the installers, what they do is they charge for the system. They go out there, they set it up, and if there's anything that's needed throughout this time period, they basically are available to them and will help them, whatever, right? Whatever needs to be fixed if it needs to be fixed. And so we want to position and create something that can be sold that way as well, where, hey, this is the result that you want. Let me create a projection for you so you can see the time frame this is going to take. We're going to install this system, which includes, funnels. It includes automated follow-up and AI booking bot. All this stuff is really, really valuable. And so we don't want to sell it like a service where, okay, now we're just responsible for getting the result. We want to charge that high ticket price and say, look, boom, this thing is now installed into your business. And now it's our job to basically just make sure it's running properly and manage it, right? And when you change your positioning from that, I'm telling you, you can charge way higher prices. And it's actually better. It's better for you because, you actually are focused on getting them the results. You don't run it as emotional as you do if you're doing a service. A service, you're just like, and keep in mind, it could be the same thing in a way, but when you view it as a system, you're going to feel like you have a product. and the product is produced. It's like a live product. That's how you want to view it. And when you sell a service, you're just like, hey, can you come do this? Can you go do that? Right? And they kind of don't see you as like the conductor of the result that you want to actually create for them. And so you can use this. This is a system. There's a reason people are using this ad, right? It's a system. It's a system that works and gets results. So you can try to sell people something, oh, well, maybe this will work, maybe it won't work. But when you sell the system, like with me, there's no better place to get to, I'm telling you, because I've spent, the past 5 years specifically building the system that I have. And I just get to a point where all I have to do is get more people on the phone that I actually want to work with, because I know the system will produce independent of me. And I actually know that for a fact because I've had multiple people use my system and get their own result and never even talk to me or anything like that. So that's how you know you're onto something, and that's how I would invite you to position what you're doing, is selling a system, all right? So that should be your favorite word basically after today. Now I'm going to walk you through the product and just what we actually do, and that'll pretty much be the completion of the video, okay? So let's just recap here so you understand what we've gone through so far. So we understand that we're going to solve these high value problems for high ticket businesses, which is getting them more leads and getting them more people on the phone so they can make money. And because we're delivering these high value systems to these businesses, we can charge a high ticket amount, and we know because they're high ticket that they're going to make a solid amount if we just bring them a few customers, all right? And our goal isn't to just bring them like one or two. I'm just saying that, if we get them one or two in the first month, they potentially double, triple their money, and then now they can stay working with you, right? So that's the core problem that we're solving and why we can charge high ticket. Then the old way of picking the niche was just not using live data. The new way is saying, hey, look at these proven ad templates that 140 different people are running. This must work, right? And you can do this for other niches. That's how you reverse engineer what's actually working. The old way of selling is one-to-one, and basically, using scripts and not having really any leverage. The new way of selling is we want to use education and do one-to-many things like videos where you can get watch time and people actually learning about your product on autopilot, right? The old model is reliant on humans. It's reliant on talent and people being able to solve complex problems and stuff like that. And the new agency model is based on leveraging software and AI and selling a system, right? And templates, not custom work. And we want to use wherever possible AI tools and software to reduce our expenses as long as it still produces good results. And then lastly, what I just went over is we don't want to position it as a service, and we want to package this system up and turn it into a results-oriented system. And then you and your team are the facilitators of the results, and you manage it and you monitor it, right? But you're not responsible for making it. Services kind of turn into like making a bunch of new systems if you really think about it, right? So we want to go the systems route. So now that you understand the big picture and specifically, all the things that I mentioned, let me show you real practical, like what this actual product looks like and how we do it. So first, like I said, you have to have a high ticket niche. You can use ChatGPT to help you come up with high ticket niches and then search that in the ads library and see if you can find kind of what I found here and then go from there, right? Then what we use is these are like our AI ads that I mentioned. So this is a fully, AI avatar. So you can use this app to basically create these videos for like $1. Obviously, the more you make, the less it is per video, but you'll save a ton and you can still get great results and great videos. You can also use ad images, as you can see here. These are all images, so there's something to pay attention to. Well, if people are using this formula and it's working, I mean, guys, you can see this just to show you even more. This ad's been running almost for an entire year. So, I mean, why would somebody do that? So you can see here, though, that you can create these images yourself and you don't have to actually do videos. So I would stick to what's working. You can use ChatGPT to actually create images like this, and you can have it recreate images like this with the new update. It's called ChatGPT 4.0. I can actually show you. I'm going to test this specific function out for the first time with like a real image like this. But what I can do is, let's just go with, I like how this one looks. So I'm just going to go to the see ad details, and I am just going to basically, screenshot this image, and then I'm going to go over here and say, can you regenerate this type of image with 3 images exactly as shown, but do it for a property that looks like it's in Southern California. So I'm testing this out for the first time with you guys. I've tested this out on other things and it works pretty well. So we'll see what it does, but this is in Arizona, and so it's obviously specific to that area. But if you get a client in another area, you can literally do what I'm showing you here. If this doesn't work great, you can just use Canva and put this layout there and just get some, stock images, or you can use this for sure. If it doesn't do this, which I'm thinking it will, you can just have it generate images of properties that you put into the actual, the Canva image. So this thing's loading. We're going to see what it does. You can actually already see the sky there going. So it may just do one photo. I don't know how it's going to do it, but point is, if it doesn't do 3 like separate images like that, you can just download this and then put this into Canva and just drag and drop it. But this is a completely AI generated image. You're seeing this right before your eyes. So we go from not knowing what our niche is to finding a proven niche, and then, basically reverse engineering the ad. Oh, it actually looks like it is doing it, which is pretty crazy. And you guys generate these images right there on, I don't know how long this is taking, but it's literally happening before your eyes, right? So let's see what this, there you go. I mean, that's pretty dang good. So there's your ad, right? Follow what's working. There's no videos here, right? At least that I can see. So there you go. Now you have your proven ad template. That's an example of a system, all right? Then you will need ad copy. So there's something here that's working, right? So we want to copy this. We can take this over to ChatGPT and then just say, great, want to be nice to AI and just say, can you rewrite this ad copy and make it punchier and specific to Southern California? And then boom, it's going to do that. And so I'm not going to go through the rest of it now. I just kind of want to show you guys, look at that, boom. There's our ad. You can obviously say, can you rewrite it for a different price point, whatever, right? But you guys get the idea that I'm not just like telling you, oh, this is fast and easy. It's like, find the proven niche, recreate the ads, recreate the ad copy. And then now we're getting into like, how do you run the ads and stuff? So we use a software called UpX, and I'm actually featured on their website from running this model that I'm showing you here. And so you can scroll on the bottom of their site and you'll see the video if you want to watch it. And I'm not going to do a whole UpX training here, but basically what we can do is we can take this ad image here, upload it into UpX with all the ad copy as well, like this, and turn this into a template, which is a repeatable result that we know will work. And you can do that for different cities and stuff, so that when you get clients, you'll have different ads for different cities. And then instead of running an ad from scratch and thinking about, oh, I just got a client, what do I do? No, go back to the system. Here's our proven concept, right? Use the same copy, use the same image format, right? And basically make your ads into systems. And that's what I've been able to do. And that's how, I got this customer, and they are paying for their own, ability to run my proven ads that I'm kind of showing you how to do. And because of that, they've been able to get their own results, right, without me, because I've templated it, all right? And then the last few things, this is the AI follow-up and booking bot. So when the lead gets generated, the system, this is using GoHighLevel, and this is basically a software that we use to manage all of our clients. And so when a lead comes through, guess what? The system will text them, and all that's, you write the text once and it gets sent a million times, right? So you write the text, you create this bot, and then it will follow up with leads and turn them into appointments. Now this is an actual real screenshot of a real lead who booked an appointment and turned into $60,000 for our high ticket client. All right. So what I'm showing you guys is actually real. It's actually crazy how insane of a business you can create right now. Like, people used to have to market and hype things up to sound as good as they are. Now they actually are just this good, like without even like hyping it up. You guys are seeing it. So lastly, what we've incorporated now, which GoHighLevel has added, is an AI receptionist to call and qualify leads. So when we get that lead, if that lead calls the business, guess what? AI will answer the call and basically book them into an appointment or qualify them. So before, you used to have a call center and all this complicated stuff, and now you can literally just use AI to help your clients close more deals. And you can see this is a more recent client, and he made $60,000. This is a closed deal from doing exactly what I'm showing you right now. Like, he used our system that we sell to real estate investors and wholesalers, and he made 60 grand off of this, essentially our version of this system. So that's the product. And then the main core thing that, is manual that I have somebody helping me with is just tracking the metrics of our clients' results. So these are just the marketing metrics and stuff. We see how many leads they're getting per day. You can see in 15 days, they've basically gotten 40 leads, and they've already got a few deals under contract. And so then guess what? They're going to make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. And, we're doing exactly what I'm saying, and it's fun and enjoyable. So that is how to build a $20K per month AI agency system that you can sell for a high ticket price. If you're interested in learning more about how I'm running this model, you can do one of two things. You can partner with me on the software that you'll need to actually use this, which is called GoHighLevel, and you get a free trial for that software, as well as access to my community and a Q&A call where I can help you with this model and a step-by-step course on how to run this model. Or you can just buy it directly if you already have GoHighLevel. So there's going to be links to both of those. The GoHighLevel route is, I prefer it just because you get the software that you need, and you don't pay anything extra, and you actually aren't even paying me directly. So you just are buying the tool that is needed to make all this happen. And by me giving you value like these videos and stuff like that, I'm able to basically make these videos for free for you guys because people partner with me and help out the channel. So that's the route I'd suggest, because you get everything for free for 30 days. You get to try everything out, see what I'm saying, test it out. You don't pay anything, but obviously if you already have High Level, you don't want another account, so you can just sign up directly and start running this model. So wishing you continued success. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.